Hey guys, welcome to another video. Now, before we get started, normally I'd do the whole garage up, make it look like a proper workshop-y studio deal, but honestly today, I don't quite have the time, couldn't quite be bothered. Let's be honest, not everyone has a big shed space to work on their vehicle, a big workshop setup. Sometimes you are just stuck working between an engine crane and a Jeep, and that is what it is. That's what we're going to be doing today. So, what are we doing today? We should chat about that. Nothing too crazy today. I've got a big ride coming up tomorrow. Sort of want to see how this thing looks without the front mudguard on. So I'm just going to be pulling that off. For those wondering how to do it, from what I can see it's 4 bolts and 2 bolts underneath. It's pretty simple. But I do have something I do want to talk to you guys about. So, I keep seeing it pop up all the time. People talking about voiding warranty and wiring warranty. Things like head stems, aftermarket exhausts, why they're good ideas, why they're not. Can you service your vehicle yourself? That is what we're going to get into. But first I need some tools. So what is warranty? That's probably the major question really here. Put simply, warranty is really the promise made by the manufacturer that the vehicle is without manufacturing defects. That's not design defects, manufacturing defects. For whatever set period of time or kilometres distance travelled that your government requires. There's not really much else to it. It's not some super awesome promise that the bike will operate and all the rest and that it's the best bike in the world. It's really just that they didn't mess up at the factory. So what does that actually mean if you go ahead and do things like replace your exhaust, or in the case of us Himalayan owners, end up with a head stem bearing that fails, or cone set that fails as they like to call it? Well, it's a bit of a funny thing, right? So let's take the cone set example, because there's so many people reporting problems with these, more overseas than Australian ones that I see. But all too often they turn around and say that their dealer said no warranty and they can't understand why. There's no kilometres on the bike. It just doesn't make sense, right? And I'm sure you, when you read it, start getting worried. You might even start getting outraged that something like this is going to fail on your bike. We're sort of going to break down the problem a little more before we understand that. You see, 9 times out of 10, when the dealer gets the bike in and they start stripping it down, they can quite clearly see that the seal's still intact, but there's water inside the bearing which has caused it to fail. So, why is that? What's causing it? Well, in most cases it's as simple as a pressure washer. Well, the most common cause of that is a pressure washer. Bike was designed for steering, riding in rain. It was never designed for a gurney or a high pressure washer to squirt jets of water right into the bike. Does that mean it should be warranty? Unfortunately not. Whether it was you that washed the bike or the dealer before you bought it, the fact is that part was never designed to be hit with jets of water. And because it wasn't designed for that, it's not covered by warranty. Now, I should note that, luckily for us, a lot of dealers and the manufacturer, Royal Enfield, have acknowledged that it's a failure that's occurring on a lot of vehicles, and they will quite often cover that under goodwill. But let's not confuse goodwill with warranty. Warranty covers a manufacturing defect, and a seal not being designed to withstand super high pressure water is not a manufacturing defect. It's just unlucky. So what about exhaust, or servicing it yourself? You heard stories. Someone fitted an aftermarket exhaust, posted a photo online, and next minute they got a letter saying their warranty's voided. Well, manufacturers can't cancel warranties on vehicles. The only way that actually can be enacted is if the vehicle sustained significant structural damage, i.e. was written off or in a major accident. Essentially, what we're hearing a lot of is, I think, confusion stories between extended warranties being cancelled, because that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Those things can be cancelled all the time. And people have heard stories from stories from stories from stories. The truth of the matter is that if you fit an aftermarket exhaust, it doesn't actually affect your warranty, except it can affect how you might make a claim in the future. And that's quite simple. If your bike leans out and does a ring, and the dealer comes in and looks at it and goes, well, the air fuel ratio was wrong because you changed the exhaust, then that's not really the manufacturer's fault, so why on earth would they warrant that? That's your fault, and sorry, you might have to pay. It's a very similar story if you service the bike yourself. If the engine does a bottom end because the oil spec was wrong, then yeah, that's your fault. See, the advantage of having your dealer do these things, and don't get me wrong, I'm clearly not someone who is singing to my dealer at all, is that if these things go wrong, they're an authorised party that did the work, approved the work, and if the manufacturer won't cover it, you can argue that they should cover it because they did the work. Oh, this bolt is being a real pain. That looks way better. I've still got to put the little fork bracket back on, but I'll do that later. I don't want to affect my warranty on my forks, obviously. But I hope this video and my random rambling sort of helped you understand a little bit about how warranty works and the kind of things that you should consider when you want to modify your bike, like I regularly do, or whether you just want to keep it factory until that warranty runs out. It's really up to you. My advice always is, whether you're a DIY squitter or an at-gat dealer warrior, I don't care. As long as it makes you happy, as long as you enjoy the bike, and as long as you accept the consequences of the things you do. Anyway, that's the video for today. Speed safely. If you like the video, you know what to do. If there's something else you want me to cover, do you want to talk about extended warranties? Drop it in the comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next one.